This week in Gran Turismo Daily Race A, we go bowling and rallying as well. Daily Race B, Max Power goes rally crossing, and in Daily Race C, we experience some dirty driving, but some karma ensues. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2024, week 25. We're nearly halfway through the year, and this week, not quite sure it hits. Now, the first track you're looking at, the first race we're looking at is in the background. We're in a Volvo V40 and we're at Colorado Springs. Yes, we are rallying. We're doing 4 laps. The grid start with the full start check. Dirt tyres, which feel very odd on this car, and Bop is on. I say it feels weird because it's like, and Max Power said this beautifully on the shorts comments, it's like putting racing tyres on a Fiesta, but we're just doing it on dirt instead. If you don't like this race, and I'm sure quite a few of you do not like this race, you can jump to Daily Race B or C respectively with those timestamps in the background. However, I did do this race. I did give it a try just to see if it changes in the race. Let's jump to it now and let's see how much carnage ensues. Okay, who's in this race then? We've got Shadow in pole, 31.4. We're down in the 29s already on the qualifying lap, and I will show you that a little bit later on. Hold the handbrake then. That's the best way to start with these full start checks as we get ready to go. I've put traction control on 1 as well because we are on dirt here, and you can see it's already having a bit of an impact there. Quickly short shift to second gear, and you may want to start in second gear if you do want to give it a try. It could be quicker. I haven't tried it, to be honest with you. I do one of each race, of course, and then I create the video guide for you so you can have a look whether you want to do this week, whether you don't want to, or whether you want to improve a lap. There's a guide in here as well. I'll say it's going to be after this race. We also have something new at the end of this race that I will show you as well, so hopefully this helps going forward. Your judgment. Right, we're going to head in towards this right-hander then, and we're going to get rear-ended there by the orange car, which pushes me into Sonic, so I've effectively taken out my own teammate there, being the cue ball, but yeah, that's not on me, that one, that's on Montesi up ahead as we continue into this right-hander. Do you expect that kind of action to happen in this race just because of the way it is? People will be sliding everywhere. People need to get used to the car. It drives really weird. And I mentioned it in the intro. Literally, the tyres seem too grippy. And then suddenly you understeer. And then you grip again. And then understeer. It's very, very random in terms of driving this car. Even so, we're just getting 2 more spots there through that left-hander as we continue here. Then 3 wide behind. Going to 2 wide as we continue on here. Jumps are absolute carnage. I don't do a jump right in this race at all, but I do in the track guide, which you will see after this race as we go into this right-hander. And I'm going to clip there an invisible fence on the right-hand side. Or there might have actually been a fence there, actually. I thought it was invisible as we continue on there. So that's Max Power going through, and Mario Sonic as well. Who hits another fence there on the right side, goes towards the left then. And let's see what we can do here versus the Volvo then. We're going to head towards the final corner of the circuit. This corner very easy to understeer off, which is why I'm trying to go for sort of that inside line, try and capitalize on Max Power, sorry, not Max Power, Mario Sonic going deep here. I keep getting them two confused this morning. I've no idea why. We've got different names, but even so, we continue racing then as we go into the left-hander. Mario Sonic defends that beautifully. We're going to try and get up on the inside then. Very easy corner to get wrong, that one, and you do what Mario Sonic does and goes too deep into the corner. I will explain in the track guide how to do that as we head down here to the bumpiest part of the circuit, in my opinion. There we go. Look at Max Power getting all the air, nearly spinning out there. So we're on the inside here. We managed to do it kind of nice, to be honest with you, as we continue on here with Hooder line up ahead then as we head to this really annoying right-hander. Honestly, it's so annoying. Going here, I'm hard on the brakes there to avoid hitting the British driver. Max Power's trying to get on the inside there, clips that inside wall as we fast forward a little bit here. Well, that'll get motion sickness. I apologize as we do a jump there and go absolutely nose first. Don't go on the inside is what I'm going to tell you right now. Do not go on the inside of that jump. It just flings you nose diving. It really does. And obviously it cost me a place there with Max Power. Doing the right we go then. Trying to keep up with Max Power here as we continue on. Max Power left, right, left, right. Yes, we're seesawing all over the place and we're back through on Max Power as we go into the left hand. But effectively, it's not Max Power, of course, with the PSM, but we know it is Max Power. We know it's you, mate, as we go into the right-hander then. And looks like we're keeping this place for now. I did run Max Power a little bit tight there, but there's still just enough room, in my opinion, for a Volvo as we go into the right-hander. Once again, don't do the jump that way, is all I'm going to say. As you can see here, Max Power gets it spot on then. Going to have all the momentum to go clean on by here on lap number 3 as we go into the right-hander then. And we're looking to try and get back on the inside of Max Power. Do we do it? Yes, we do. Look at it. Side by side then. In towards the left we go. And Max Power is absolutely yeeting it here. absolutely eating it. Weirdly, actually, the fastest way to drive this car is to not yeet it. And again, the track guide is coming up here as we're on lap number 3 now. The field is opening up. I hit that invisible wall Sonic did. Sonic doesn't do it this time and goes on by, claiming P8 here. We've advanced towards the end then. That is the end of the race here. Now, I have given a race a score, and we're going to give all the daily races a score. I'm going to get 3 out of 5. Why? Well, the start is good. I like the start. It's close racing, and it's got no penalty issues. So 3 out of 5 there. Car tyre choice, no, not good. And the race length should be longer, in my opinion. Let's go into a track guide then here. So we accelerate through turn 1. Already at turn 2 here. Where that marshal is, or alternatively where the barrier goes to Armco, you're going to drop a gear and chuck it in. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to brake, drop a gear, chuck it in. Now, you don't want to start accelerating through this corner straight away. You want to kill off some speed here. See where that is on chase cam, and that's what I'm going to try and do. When I get to around 75 miles an hour is when I really want to accelerate. And if you keep it above 70, you're flying. As we get to the crest of the hill here, go up to 4th gear. Be careful of the invisible wall on the inside. It's not where the fence is. It's actually earlier than that. And as we come down here, you've got that sort of farmer's track there that goes to the left-hand side. Lift off at this point. So on all these jumps, you don't want to be accelerating because it just causes the car to go into some crazy mode. So lift off here. Now you actually want to brake just after this as well to slow the car down even more because there's another jump after this. Where's that jump here as we go into the right-hander? There it is. And look, it's not even a jump at that point because we slowed the car down effectively. If you go too sideways too quick on that corner, you're going to lose tons of time. So just be careful. The last tree on the left-hand side here is when you're going to start to lift for this corner. Now, this corner has a jump in the middle of it. So if you hit the jump too quickly, you're going to go flying. You actually want to keep a nice tight line here and slow speed. Nice tight line, straight as you can as you go over the jump, and you should be fine. So as we go into here, I'm slowing the car down, letting the car roll, braking. It's not even a jump then at that point. I can accelerate through the corner. Over towards the right-hand side we go. We're then going to chuck it left, lifting as we go here. That's when it grips. Over towards the left-hand side. Be careful about turning too early here on the right. I hit that wall a few times. And as we go up here, we're coming up to the insane jump. The one I got wrong most of the race here. Okay, you want to be on the dirt part of the circuit. Accelerate through it, and look at that. It's absolutely fine. If you're on the inside there, you're going to nosedive, and that's my problem. Go up to 4th gear on these jumps, okay, and you will accelerate very quickly out of them. Now, on the left-hand side, I'm actually in the middle of a jump right now. Is a row of trees, okay? There's been a bit of a gap, and then there's a row of trees. It's at this point, you want to start slowing the car down, but you want to do this corner as straight as possible. You see, I'm airborne there in this Volvo, and what we're going to do here is roll, and then we're going to brake a little bit, and want to keep it as straight as possible. The more sideways we are, the more crazy the car will go over that jump with a weight transfer. Up into 4th gear, through the right we go, and then what we're going to do is, at the end of the logs on the left-hand side, we're going to drop a gear. Not brake, just drop a gear here, turn it in, let the car roll through the corner as best as we can. When we feel we've got enough grip, it's then that we can accelerate. Obviously, it's going to be in the middle of the logs on chase cam, which you can see right here. But there we go. We're just letting the car roll. 70 miles an hour. Look at that. Hard on the accelerator. Now, as we come up to this right-hander, I have no marker for this. I turn in, and then I try and accelerate as early as possible. Be careful about understeering early into the pit wall. But that is a lap here. That's a 129.9. Really, I was on a 131. I went straight to a 29. There we go. Those things happen in Gran Turismo, and you'll experience that too. Already in Daily Race B then, where you can see I'm in that Genesis G70 Group 4 car, which yes, it does mean it's Group 4. We're doing 5 laps here at Laguna Seca. It's a rolling start on racing hard tyres, which I'm not a big fan of. That's on fuel and tyre wear, so it's a very quick race here. Brake balance is the only thing changeable, and as I say, I chose the Genesis. Let's jump into this race then, because that's looking like the meta car, and let's have a look exactly what happens. Who has pit what then? I imagine most people are in the Genesis. We've got 3 in the top 4. Ferrari in there. This is why I like doing them earlier on in the day. We do get a bit more of grid choice. What a horrendous rolling start there. But what isn't horrendous, or what could be, is if you're not subscribed already. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Stay in touch with all the latest content. We advance to where we finally catch up to somebody here. We've called up to max power in that Jaguar F-Type. But in the distance there, we have a car off. It's the GT by Citroen off there. The Swiss driver Schlungi off in the gravel. So we're up a place at least here. We're finally catching up to everyone. So effectively, it's a 4-lap race, not a 5-lap race. Just to put that out there, you spend the first lap trying to catch up to people. Max Power defends the inside line then as we try around the outside here. And can we get it done? We do keep it hungry on the outside though there, which is going to help us massively here as we head towards the right-hander. We're going to be on the inside then as we come into this corner. I just get it slightly wrong. I tap that sausage, and unfortunately, I do not keep that place well defended by Max Power there as we just fast forward a little bit here. Head towards this left-hander then. The kink here. Max Power turns in. I noticed the error. I tried to correct it before Max Power does. Max Power goes clean off. I'm laughing because I followed you, but I managed to stay on the circuit. Lap later then, through the left we go. We're up to Mario Sonic then in the Subaru WRX, and another all-wheel drive car here as we go towards the right-hand side here and hard on the brakes then in towards the course. We're going to try around the outside here, and look at this. Brilliant racing with Mario Sonic. I enjoyed that one. You can see my face change. Beautiful stuff here as we go up to P12. Brilliant racing there, Mario Sonic. As we continue on up ahead, we've got Blue Racer, we've got Goat, and we've got the South African there. Is that Kennels? I think it is, in the distance. Who's got a 0.5 second penalty as we go into the braking zone here. Blue Racer taking a void action there. The Corvette then, with the old school livery there. That's the livery from, is that from Gran Turismo 1 on the Corvette? I'm sure it is. I've seen that livery before though. Yeah, 100% sure. Brilliant livery there, Kennels. Big shout out for that one. Now, to our left-hand side then, we've got Mario Sonic giving Blue Racer a bump draft here. We're going to try around the outside here. Goat then now has the McLaren on the inside. Brilliant move by Blue Racer there to get the job done then as we continue on through here. Slight contact between Mario Sonic. Nothing major here as we head towards this right-hander. Slowing the car down then. And we are still P11 then as we continue on through here then. Coming up towards this right-hander, I panicked a little bit there. Goat broke a little bit harder than I expected to. That's all. Like, Goat's allowed to brake like that, by the way. I'm not saying anything about that. But, yeah, I was got a bit scared, should we put it that way. Heading towards corkscrew then. As we slow it down then, I'm getting as close to Goat as I can because I'm hoping to overtake on the start-finish straight if we can. Then through the left we go. Still very close behind the Ferrari. We have a yellow flag in the distance. We see somebody. Oh, hello. That's a German who I believe was leading or very much near the front of the pack then. Volikan there having a bit of an issue. We'll have a look what happened in the bloopers, of course, which will be at the end of the video. Through the left we go then. We get a brilliant run out there. The Ferrari in the middle, obviously struggling with dirty tyres. Got Mario Sonic giving me a bit of a flash there. I appreciate this, Mario Sonic. You'll see my thumb go up in a second. So we are 3 wide right now. There we go. In fact, it's completely missed the camera because I'm a moron. But there we go. 3 wide in towards turn 1. Brilliant racing from everybody. I actually am going to have a look at the Volikan perspective of that in the bloopers because I'm pretty sure that was some exceptional driving. And I love showing the exceptional driving. Hard into the braking area then, or hard on the brakes, should I say, into the corkscrew. I can't speak today, no idea what's going on. Blue Racer apparently can't race as he goes off the circuit. And up ahead, ODB_36, struggling in the Scirocco, goes off as well. 2 positions at the end of the race here, lap number 5, or arguably lap number 4 if you're thinking about first lap, trying to catch up here. We're going to get towards the end of the race then, and that is the end of it. Not the greatest race in the world, in my opinion. It's got a 2.5 there. The only points it gets here is for the car choice, not the tyre choice, which is why it's half. Close racing you can have, and there are no penalty issues, which is always beneficial as well. So we're going to go into a lap guide here. I'm actually in the Megane Trophy from the previous time we did this combo. We've actually done it twice this year already, crazily. But heading in towards turn 1, you can either use the 4 board, the end of the curb, or try and get as close as you can to that 3 board, depending on your car choice here. It really does depend. In the Genesis, I'm very much getting as close to that 3 board as possible, and I'm doing that in the Megane Trophy as well. Going to the corner, I like to keep a nice tight line here. A short shift on the exit can be beneficial in the Genesis and in cars which do have power oversteer issues as we head towards the right-hander. Another 3 markers here for you to choose. You've got the 2 board, you've got the sand going into the gravel, or on the right, you've got that tannoy there. Any of those markers are brilliant markers for this right-hander. Depending on your car will depend on what you use, of course, as we go into this corner. Be careful of the sausage on the inside. You do want to get as close as you can, though, to maintain a decent apex as we leave that corner. Head towards this right-hander then. You've got the 1 board or the end of the curb. I tend to use the end of the curb here, okay. You want to dab the brakes a little bit. Force a little bit of rotation in the car, okay, as you turn in. For those wondering about the brake balance in the Genesis, it was +5 as well, so just keep that in mind. I will lob that in the description because it is a different car I'm using here in time trial. Be careful on exit. If you clip that sand on the left-hand side on the outside of the curb, you could go for a spin and a bit of a journey. Heading in towards this left-hander then, on the right-hand side, you've got the white square there on the concrete barrier. That's the one I tend to use here. But if you've got a car with good brakes, the 2 board up ahead can also be very beneficial in terms of a marker. So we're going to go into this corner. I like a wider line initially to come in to really make sure I'm using all the camber very close to the exit there to maximize my potential out of the corner. We're going to head to the dangerous corner on the circuit. 1 of 2 then. So we've got the 2 board on the right-hand side or the white square. I tend to focus on the white square a bit more in Group 4, but in Group 3, the 2 boards tends to be better. Again, it depends on the car you choose here. Now, just come into here, you're going to dab the brakes and turn in. You need to avoid the sausage on the inside, okay? But you want to get as close as you can. I actually miss it by quite a margin there, so there's plenty more time in this lap as we head up here then towards the corkscrew. Now, you got two choices here in terms of brake marker, in my opinion. The pickup truck, which is the most common brake marker for the corkscrew. But if you want to be last of the late breakers, the 3-board all line there in the distance can be good for you. Now, if you're braking that late, just remember, the later you brake here, it's added time here because you're braking uphill. So the earlier you brake uphill, the more you'll stop, effectively. So you do have to be careful of that. Through this left we go then. Just be careful of track limits on the corkscrew, of course. We've got the tree on the left-hand side. I normally dab my brake as that tree hits the edge of my screen, whether it's in the Megane Trophy or the Genesis. You can see my Genesis lap on the leaderboard right now if you are curious. It's the exact same markers throughout here. Dab the brake, turn in. I try to get as close to that sausage as I can as I accelerate through. Be careful on exit there. You can clip the sand on exit on the outside curb. In towards the right-hander then, it is cambered, so you want to brake a bit earlier here. You want to turn in early. You want to maximize the use of the camber. Okay, the wider you go, the much slower you will go on this corner and therefore on your lap as well. So turn in early here. Try and get on the inside there. There we go. Happy days indeed as we head towards the final corner then. So a number of choices here in terms of brake markers. On the left, you've got the building as that leads to screen. You've also got the concrete barrier where it's got that little grey box there. Or alternatively, if you like using the boards, you've got the 3-board there as well. Pick and choose what you like, again, depending on your car. You're going to be last of the late breakers here, and then you want to turn in a bit later than normal to make sure you don't hit the sausage, but you get a clean line. Point and squirt is what you're trying to do here as we head towards the end of Laguna Seca and this lap, which is a 27.5. We're going to jump to Daily Race C then, where we are in the Toyota GT86 or Subaru BRZ, whichever one you want to pick as we go into this right-hander. Hey, see me going drifting there in the TCR car. How about that? What exactly are we doing here then? We're doing 7 laps. It's a grid start with false start check. It sports hard tyres. We used soft last time for those interested. That's what fuel and tyre wear, and you can only adjust the brake balance. But you can apply a livery and obviously aero parts just for the looks, as you can see with that lovely TCR livery. I chose the GR86. It's not GT86, is it? It's GR86, but effectively the same thing. I chose that car then. Let's jump into this race because we have a problem with a dirty driver. Okay, the final race is here then. I am there, folks. I was trying to check if it was a mandatory pit stop or not really quickly, but as you know, it's not. Now, if you're not subscribed already, please do. And if you are enjoying this video, give it a like. Hold that handbrake down and get ready with traction control 1 as the red lights go out. Off we go then here at Autopolis. Yeah, 7 laps at Autopolis. I don't think I actually mentioned the track here of Autopolis. It's not a track I'm fond of, to be honest with you. But you can race in these cars okay-ish, to be honest with you. But we'll get onto the score rating for this race a little bit later on as we go into turn 1 then. Everybody goes through turn 1 fairly okay, if I'm honest with you. You know, you do expect some carnage here with a grid start. Certainly didn't happen here. We're around the outside of 2 cars already, Shelty and Sebastian Loeb then, as we head towards this right-hander. Unfortunately for me, I go to be the last of the late breakers. I take avoiding action. We go drifting, but we recover it. We recover it. So we took avoiding action there, and we recovered it at the same time. Apologies to Shelty, because I know I slowed you up there. But I think that was pretty good there, to be honest with you. Do give me a score in the comments. I hope to see 10s all around. Anyway, through the left we go here, then we catch up to everybody here. And Eclipse Central there on our right-hand side there. Puts Gee's driver just losing the rear end there. Contact between the two there. More contact happening here then as we slow the cars down for this hairpin. You want to be on the inside for this hairpin, but I'll talk about that in the track guide, of course. Through the left we go then, and we continue on out of him under distance there. You see a huge amount of smoke. No idea what's happening there at the time. I do know what happened since there, but we do gain another spot there. The Irish driver looking down the inside. Very hard to do that there on the right-hander. Contact between Max Power and Sebastian Loeb here. It's all happening in this race. It really is then as we continue towards the end of this lap then. So we can see P8 in the distance here. Let's hope we can actually catch up here and potentially go on for the victory because we're only 5 seconds off the lead at the moment. That means it is a very close race, which I do like. I do like that fact. And again, we'll get onto the scoring a little bit later on to see where we hold up then as we continue towards the last corner. The aim of the game here then on this last corner is I wanted to get a massive run on Max Power and Sebastian Loeb. So I took a wide line there, but the Irish driver sort of compromised me a little bit there to fully maximize that. All fair, of course, they can go for that. There was gap there, so they should go for it. But we did manage to gain a little bit of an advantage over Max Power and Sebastian Loeb here then. You do rev this car to the absolute brim. You rev the nuts out of this as we head towards turn 1 then. Hard on the brakes. Sebastian Loeb in the Subaru there as we go into turn 1. So everyone I felt broke earlier than I expected. In fact, I had to release a brake even though I sent it down the inside there. I really could have sent it a bit more here then. But we are side by side there. I think that's Blue Racer behind me, following me. Max Power following Sebastian Loeb in towards the right hand. There we go. Sebastian Loeb sends it round the outside. And what a move that is. That's a really well defended effort there by the, well, say British driver. I know they're from the Asia region here as we head in towards the right-hander. Slowing the car down again. Then we were side by side with Max Power. Do we get it stopped? We do indeed. So we stay in P10 for now. This is a cracking battle, cracking race so far. Lap number 3 then, same situation here. I'm going to send it down the inside. Again, I had to release the brakes early there because I thought that I was braking too early, and arguably I was. Sebastian Loeb was just braking earlier than me. I'm not sure whether that's a Subaru BRZ issue or whether it was just, the first race of the day. It literally was the first daily race C of the day, this one. So, people will be out of practice essentially. And I was at the top of the leaderboard, or very close to it anyway, as we go through this right-hander. And hopefully I'm still there. I'm fighting the Japanese at the moment, and you can follow my ghost. Through the left we go then. We've caught up to the next pack here as we go into the right-hander. 4.5 seconds now off the lead. So if we get a second lap here, potentially, we could be on for that victory. Mario Sonic leading this pack then. Through the left-hander we go then. The German goes a little bit more wide here, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier on with Max Power. Going to try around the outside here. Hopefully they go on the inside and we carry on. However, the German there turns into me, and I will confirm now they do turn into me, and forces me off the circuit. So I'm not very happy with that, to be brutally honest with you. I'm really not. I lost a lot of places there as we continue on. However, the drama doesn't stop there because a bit of karma is about to ensue. So look in that distance, folks, and look what's about to happen. Well, that German's about to go spinning. Max Power is off the circuit and back on. The Irish driver looked down the inside, but karma to the German driver. Bye-bye, my friend. You are a moron, as we like to call. So we are going to advance a bit further on in this race and get into the good action here, because you can have some brilliant racing here. You're seeing that in this video in terms of Max Power, Sebastian Loeb. We're having a fantastic race here. In towards turn number 1. Again, I'm going to send it down the inside. Unfortunately for me, I have to take avoiding action there because I thought I was going to hit Sebastian Loeb in terms of braking. Again, I'm not sure whether that Subaru BLZ is struggling or what there, but I definitely can make these corners quite easily. I'm taking avoiding action constantly here in terms of that BRZ. Max Power benefited there, actually maintains the position of P10 as we continue on through here. What we will do is actually fast forward a little bit here because we need to get back to the racing action then as we head in towards this left-hander then. And we'll look at that Marshall box in the distance. I'll talk about in the lap guide, of course. But look at the oversteer. Max Power gets there. I actually have to take avoiding action myself there with a bit of oversteer. Now, we have done this combo before, by the way, but it was on sports soft tyres. This time it's on sports hard as we head to this left-hander. Arguably, probably better on the sports hard tyres because the cars are a bit more difficult to control, but fair to control, in my opinion. I like the fact that there is some essence of driving there. Last time it was a bit too grippy, in my opinion. Up ahead, Sebastian Loeb, Blue Racer, side by side then as we head up here and into the left-hander. Still side by side, but what can we do here? Well, we're going to try the same move. Now, one thing you've probably noticed in this race so far is I'm sending it everywhere. And arguably, the only way to really overtake on this circuit is to send it, because everybody is so evenly matched here. The slipstream is not that impactful. It's a little bit there, but not that impactful. So you have to send it in places. So be prepared for that all this week in terms of these daily races. You will see sends. You're going to see people get it wrong with the sends as well. And I will link my overtaking video after this race as well. So down the inside we go here. We get it stopped this time. Through the right we go, leaving enough space on the exit there for Sebastian Loeb. And they actually get a better run out the corner here then as we head towards this right-hander. It's deja vu again. We've done this, what, 3-4 times now as we head to this right-hander then. Hard on the brakes we go. Sebastian Loeb carries a bit too much speed there, but still defends the position. What a defense that is as we go through this left-hander. Max Power on the outside here. This is good racing. This is what I enjoy about this kind of racing. You know, it's very close. It's very fun. You're having to judge what people are doing. We've got all sorts of cars absolutely everywhere. This is good. This is what I want in daily race A, B, and C here as we go into the left-hander then. So we just maintain a position from max power. We've still got a lot of places we can make up here with 4 cars right in front of us here. The win is definitely not on now. We're not going to gain 7 seconds in a lap unless I find a cheat of some kind as we head in towards the hairpin then. Sebastian Loeb down the inside. I'm looking to try and follow there. Max Power around the outside then as we go through the left-hander then, continuing on out of here then. And look at this, side by side still then. So I noticed Max Power is on the right side there. I tried to sort of box Max Power in a little bit here as we head towards this right-hander. And it's going to be very tight here. Side by side, very hard to do. Max Power backs out of it. So we maintain P10. But it's still fun racing. It's good racing as well. It's just a shame the German decided to ruin it. And we'll have a look at how much they ruined it a little bit later on as well in the bloopers, of course. As we go into the right-hander then, we're slowing the car down. Long train of cars here. We're about to enter the final lap as well. So all is going to happen on this final lap then. Everybody is going to want that P6 position. Everybody wants to be Steve. Super GT, of course they do. As we continue on through here then and into the final corner. Looking on the inside of Blue Racer this time. Bit of a different line for me then. Blue Racer maybe trying to maximize the speed on the exit. However, we maintain a fantastic speed through there. And that's actually going to compromise Blue Racer a lot. We're just in that slipstream as well, which is beneficial as well. As we head towards turn number 1 then. Are we going to get the position? Max Power makes it 3 wide then. In towards turn 1 we go. I take avoiding action for Sebastian Loeb there. I really hammered on the anchors. I really did to avoid Sebastian Loeb there as we continue on. That's all I've said this video. If you're playing a drinking game, I apologise. You're absolutely slaughtered right now as we head towards this right hand. I'm still in P10. Why am I still in this position? I don't get it as we continue on a bit further then. Status quo in the lap. But it's going to stop being status quo then as we head towards the hairpin. It's side by side once again as we go into here. Slowing the car down. Round we go. Continuing on out of here. You do want to be on that inside line as Max Power proves here then. Heading down towards the final sector of the circuit. This is brilliant. I love this one. This is good racing. This is what we want as we go into the right-hander then. Close racing, fun racing. You're having to judge and think about every single corner, braking point. Where's Max Power going to go? Where am I going to go? Where's Sebastian Loeb going to go? Where's Sam going to go? A bit further on in the distance here. Let's see what happens at the end of this race then as we go into the right-hander. Slowing the car down nicely then. Sebastian Loeb gets on the inside of the South African there. There's contact between the two, unfortunately. Or fortunately for us, should I say, is we're going to follow Max Power through on the inside then. A 2-for-1. Happy days indeed. We'll take that. And look at the rear view mirror. Cars absolutely everywhere as we go into the final corner. And here we go then. Max Power gets a whole boat of oversteer. That's going to be compromised then. Here we go with a run to the line. Side by side. Come on. I'm willing it to get closer. But unfortunately, Max Power keeps it. I've given this daily race a rating of 6. So the start is a 1. The car tyre choice is a 1. And close racing is a 1. So double scores here for double the race length there. So a 6 out of 10 for this one. Not a good strategy. The race length and randomness is not there either, in my opinion, which is why it doesn't get points in there. I'll put a bit more description about the point system down below that I'm going to use going forward. And do let me know of any comments and critiques that you want to leave, feedback. Heading in towards turn 1 then, on the right side you have a lamppost. That is what I'm using here. You can use a 100 meter board if you want, but that's braking too late. So I use that lamppost on the right hand side here as we go into here. You can use engine braking in this car if you want, but if you go down too early, it will oversteer. Now speaking of oversteer, the exit on the power, you will suffer oversteer in this car, especially if you overturn the car, which means you're turning too far to the right on a right-hander. If you do that, you'll oversteer more. So do think about your steering this week. Smooth steering will get you some good results. Now for this right-hander, the orange painted barrier or that runoff there are your brake markers. I brake just after these, okay, but that is really last of the late breakers into this corner. I actually trail brake into this corner as well, and then I accelerate really early. Now I want to lift off for this left-hander, let the car roll. You can dab the brakes a little bit. You will see rank 1 dab the brakes, but again you are you are tempting fate with weight transfer there. In towards the hairpin we go, and just before the end of the curb on the right hand side is my brake marker here. Hard on the brakes, of course. Stay in second gear for this one. You do not need first gear for this corner. Second gear is enough. And you are going to have to be very careful on the exit. Okay, so slowly go on the throttle there. Notice I was 50% for a little bit, then 100%. That avoided some power oversteer there because the weight settled that little bit longer. Right, as we head in towards this long left-hander, you don't brake for this either. As you get to the curb, turn in and just lift off. Let the car do its thing, okay? Yes, you're going to feel like you're going to understeer to Narnia. But fortunately, you're not, okay, because you're going to go out a little bit and then come back in, which is exactly what you want to do. Notice here, I've not touched the curb yet. I'm trying to balance the speed there. And what I'm looking for is that Marshall box. That Marshall box is a brilliant acceleration marker, okay? As that heads towards the center of your screen, you can see I've just started going 100% throttle now, about to go there. That is your accelerating marker. You accelerate through the corner. You are going to suffer with some power oversteer on exit. So I lift a little bit here to avoid that happening. So only a tiny bit, but it works. If you are struggling constantly there, just try that. 75% and then back to 100. It should settle the car that little bit more. As we head towards this hairpin then, on the right hand side there, we have that arrow. As that leaves my screen is when I go hard on the brakes. You can try and use the 50 board if you want. I tried a couple of times, but it's a bit too late in my opinion. So it's a bit of a pointless marker in this GR86. So I use the arrow on the right hand side there, hard on the brakes. Second gear, in we go. Keep an nice tight line if you can. You can go tighter than this. Be careful on exit. This is one of those corners you overturn on the exit, which forces the power oversteer. So try and release that steering as early as possible as you head down here. Now on the right side there, you've got the pole. Now you can see my brake. I'm braking right now, should I say, there. So it's just before that hits the edge of your screen, okay? So I'm hitting the brakes here. And what we want to do is turn into this corner and try and maintain 80 miles an hour. You'll see kilometers now as well because it's right there for you. But as I come into here, I also drop to third gear and I'm trying to maintain 80 because it's a really good speed. As I get towards the end of the curb there, and just before I get to the end, I'm going to dab the brakes and turn in and let the car do its thing again. Like we did earlier on the fast left, we're doing this for the fast right. So we're letting the car do its thing, but we just have to slow the car down a tiny bit with a dab of those brakes. That's all it is here. I click the curb here, and then I start to accelerate through the corner when I know I'm going to make it. In towards the left we go then, and there is no marker here. I'm just going to pause it right here. I brake in a straight line. That's what you have to do on this corner. You just brake in a straight line. So get your line right, brake in a straight line, and you will be absolutely fine. I want you to stay in third gear for this one, okay? Stay in third gear because you want to keep the car stable. That's the critical part here. Just to get a bit of oversteer there, but I'm staying in third gear. I can start to accelerate. I'm not in the power band where I get oversteer yet. Straighten up as quick as you can as we go towards the left-hander here. Lift off a little bit here. Try and get it turned in. That was a bit of a mistake there from me. I ran a bit too wide then. Over towards the left-hand side, and we have that final curb there on the left. That is your turn-in marker. Now, you may want to dab the brakes here as well. Some people will dab the brakes. I like to roll in as much as I can and then maybe just adjust the speed slightly with a dab of the brakes, a tiny bit of the brakes. But I'm wanting the car to do all the work here and not myself. So as I go into here then, still rolling, dab the brakes there because I was just going a bit too fast, which is what I'm talking about, controlling the speed. Now, on the right side there, you got that orange square thing, okay? I'm using that as an accelerating marker this time. Normally, I use the exit road, the runoff road, and I will talk about that in a second. But the second I start seeing that orange square get towards the edge of my screen, I start accelerating. There's the runoff that you can use as well. It's a bit early for an accelerating marker, okay, but it can be beneficial to stabilize the car. So keep it in mind as you do this. That's 207.9 there, and we're going to jump into some bloopers. First up, the GT by Citroen. Lovely colour on this car. I do like that colour as they go off the circuit. It's going to be a bit of a dodgy colour now with a bit of gravel all over it. But yeah, they just made a mistake there then. So we're going to jump to max power here. We're going to watch max power absolutely yeet the sausage here. Turns in. I think realises the mistake there. Tries to settle the car as much as he can. But unfortunately, heads off the circuit. And I managed to save it just because I saw what was happening. Now, I did want to look at this Volcan. This is some brilliant driving. Has to judge both cars either side. Also, Marisonic coming through there. No contact whatsoever, but manages to defend the position as well in towards the left-hander there. That is some stunning driving. Slight contact Marisonic, but maintains the position. It only loses one in the end. Really good driving. Really did love that. Well played, my friend. Driver of the week. I used to do that, but driver of the week. This Genesis unfortunately gets the kink wrong there. So what we're going to do is jump to the Scirocco, who nearly gets it wrong there. They are four wheels off the circuit. If you notice there with the white line. Now, that's critical. Remember, if you go four wheels off a circuit, your car now has dirty tyres. If you're three wheels off, you don't. Now, Blue Racer takes avoiding action on the Scirocco and goes off. This car still has dirt on their tyres. Remember, it's literally a flag on the car. As we go through this left-hander, they go off because they have dirt on their tyres. It's a flag on the car. If you're four wheels off, you then get your flagged as a dirty car in terms of tyres. You lose grip. Now, up ahead, we have a brake check there by the German. So that's why I said the German is a moron, and I'm going to show you here why they are such a moron. So I said they turned left on me here. We're going into this right-hander, absolutely not a problem. Look at that steering down at the bottom. They're going to turn left to make sure I go off the circuit. It's just fundamentally awful driving. Unmoronic driving. Once again, I will report this driver. I know a lot of people say, how do you report Tidge? I just know a couple of people at PD. There's one person in particular I talked to, but I have reported via a couple of methods in the past. Here again, we've got some brake checking. They're slowing down purposely on the straight to cause an issue. But fortunately for everybody, he goes for a bit of a spin instead. Ha! That is karma for you, because you are a moron. Again, we will report, of course, and I'll do my very best. A bit later on in the lap, I don't know why, but they're now going to absolutely just crash into Shelty. It's just ridiculous and moronic. The reason why I'm showing you this, I wouldn't normally show this, is that I need the clips to report to PD, of course, because I can't just say this driver's done moronic things when I don't have the video footage to show it. I'll also save the replay as well. Portuguese driver gets absolutely crashed into as well. Again, look, they're waiting up to just crash into people. It's not acceptable behavior. If you do this, please uninstall Gran Turismo and don't ever play Gran Turismo 7 again. Please do that, because you're not helping anyone. You're basically ruining the fun for everybody else, and it isn't fun for you either, because you're just going to lose DR, and you did lose SR. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. Of course, they're going to hit Shelty off there because they are a moron, but I will report them as I can do. That's going to be it for this video, though, folks. Do check out GT Amiga. Use my code Tidgney for a discount, and I get a kickback or my Fanatec link to help out the channel. 2 videos there to check out, including the overtaking video on how to do it. That's it for me, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.